Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bank Corp South. Golden Eagles on the road last week. They went to North Texas, up to Denton, to the Super Pit to take on North Texas on Thursday night, then down the road to Houston, Texas to take on the Rice Owls on Saturday night. And Doc will talk about both those ball games. And first, the North Texas ball game. You guys went in there with a little bit of momentum coming off the two home wins against UTEP and UTSA.
No question about it. I mean, obviously, anytime this time of year you can get some wins at home, and knowing that you're going on the road like we did last week to play two road games, you expect it to be difficult, and it was. And that's, you know, that's what conference play is. Everybody's trying to get their position for the conference tournament, and you know, right now it looks like that UAB and Middle Tennessee has kind of separated themselves, and Marshall. But all the other teams are trying to jockey themselves to get the best seed that they can possibly get. So going into the game, I knew that it was going to be a very difficult ball game, and you know, knowing the players that they had and knowing Tony like I know him, I knew that it would be a tough ball game, and sure enough, it was.
Well, last year you went out there and won an exciting overtime game where you battled back from behind and knocked off this North Texas ball club. And they had a lot of guys back off that team a year ago.
Well, again, athletically, as you saw, John, they are long, very athletic. They added the guard J. Michael that had transferred in there from Texas A&M, who is leading them in scoring. So. You know, overall, defensively, that was a concern, but offensively in transition is the way they had been scoring a lot of basketball points. And even though we, you know, made that a point of emphasis, it's something that somebody else does at their best. You know, we gave them some opportunities, and they took advantage of it. But again, it's nothing that we didn't expect.
Yeah, that you were down 3 at halftime. You get a pretty good start there. The second half, you get the three-pointer. To make it a 2-point game and then get ahead 33-31. And I'm like you thought maybe, okay, now we can maybe push it ahead. But it was them that found that little extra surge. They went on about a 10-1 run there, and that was really kind of put it away for them. They just made it tough the rest of the night.
Well, that's, you know, the loose balls they get, the second shots they get, we get the turnovers, all the things that, you know, again, that we did the last couple of games. And even against Louisiana Tech when we lost the game, we played well, but we just didn't have anything. We didn't have the energy, and we didn't have we just you know, the turnovers, the free throws. There's not anything we did good. You know, you cannot win on the road coming out and thinking you're going to outscore people, and you know, especially the way they were playing us, we just did not do a good job.
Talk a little bit about the three JUCO guys you've got on your ball club: Quentin Campbell, Raheem Watson, and Mike Ramey, the guys that just came in this year. They have started before this road trip to play a little bit better, and they were a big part of what was going on this weekend as well.
Well, they had started shooting the basketball. You know, again, going into the season, I thought Mike Ramey would be a big part of our plans, and he is. And then Quentin and Raheem, and you know, I think both of those guys got some confidence maybe from the two home games that we had the week before, and we was looking for them to carry that over into the ball game. And again, Mike is a guy that comes in and makes baskets for us when we're struggling. And so all three of those guys right now are giving us some offense. And as you well know, John, that's where we had been struggling pretty much until the last couple of weeks.
People talk all the time about it takes a while for true freshmen to sort of get used to Division I basketball, but the same is true to a certain extent for junior college guys.
Well, you bring in those three guys with the expectations that, you know, you've got to have them and they've got to be ready to play right away. Whereas freshmen, you come in and you give them a little bit more time. Well, the fact of the matter is, any new player, it's going to take time, and it took these three guys, you know, a period also, and you know, again, up until just the last couple of weeks, have their confidence started growing again to where it was at maybe when they were a sophomore in junior college.
Well, it was Southern Miss and the Mean Green of North Texas on Thursday night at the Super Pit in Denton, Texas. Let's go back and take a look at all the action. Jackson out front. Here's a jumper on the way by Watts. Bingo! 3 ball by Watts. Foul line O'Donnell. O'Donnell takes a dribble to the right wing. Now they give it to Rowe down inside. Back to Price down in the lane to O'Donnell, who banks one in from 14 feet straight away. Levens to Jackson. Behind the back dribble gets him in the front court. He takes it the length of the court, lays it up. Wouldn't stay in. Rebound Eagles. Back up and in by Watts. Rowe working on Contenda. They try to double him up. He fires it out front to Campbell for a 3. Bingo! Quentin Campbell with a 3. Give it out to Jackson. Jackson going to drive to the bucket, lay it up off the backboard and in. Bounce pass down to Rowe. He's doubled up back to Ramey. He pump fakes, now shoots a short jumper and hit it. A 2-pointer by Ramey. Left side up high, back left corner Campbell. Campbell down to Rowe. They'll double up Rowe. Rowe feeds Watts driving the lane and he laid it up and in. Edwards back to Price. He's open. He'll shoot a 3 and bingo. That time Curry got lined up and drilled a 3. Back to Rowe. Rowe to Campbell. Campbell on the dribble. Back to Edwards. Edwards gives it a Watts. Turnaround jumper on the way. Good. 18-footer by Watts. Out to Price. Left wing Campbell for a 3. Bingo. Big bucket there for Quentin Campbell. Reeves fakes, going to drive down inside. Pass stolen by Rowe. Rowe fires head to Price. Eagles a 3-on-2. Price driving and spinning, puts it up off the glass, no good. Rebound Jackson, got the layup, and the Eagles have tied the ball game. Edwards left wing, skip pass down to Rowe. Rowe going to drive up under the bucket, a pump fake, power it up and in and got fouled. Jackson turns down the 3, drives to the bucket, reverse layup up and in by Cortland Jackson. North Texas has won it 70-54 over the Golden Eagles.
Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler is brought to you by Bancorp South, right where you are. And brought to you in part by the City of Hattiesburg, a proud sponsor of Southern Miss Athletics. UPS, from figuring it out to getting it done, UPS is here to help. Hattiesburg Coca-Cola. Want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. We'll be right back with This Week in Southern Miss Basketball right after this.
And welcome back, everybody. Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bancorp South. Backside of a 2-game road trip for the Golden Eagles was Saturday night in the Tudor Fieldhouse in Houston, Texas. They take on the Rice Owls. And Doc, going into the ball game, you knew this is one of the more improved teams from a year ago. They've got a lot of new players. They shoot a lot of threes. This is a much better Rice ball club than maybe early in the year.
Well, it is, and like you mentioned, it was the second game of a road trip. So we got up Friday after a very tough ball game on Thursday night and made the drive down to Houston and got us a good workout in. And then, as you mentioned, a team that here lately has been playing much better basketball. And anytime you play at home, you have a tendency to shoot the ball a little bit better. And you know, that's what we ran into Saturday, a team that did make some shots and then at the same time defensively they do some things differently. You know, not necessarily pressing you to turn you over, just pressing you to control the tempo and then fall back into a zone. And you know, it took some time to get used to that, but again, I thought our guys played really, really hard.
Rice's record's a little bit misleading when you look at the scores of the games they had played leading up to the one against the Golden Eagles on Saturday night. It was, you know, they didn't lose by much. They'd lost a lot of 4 or 6 point games, so they've been in about every game they played this year.
They really have, and Mike's done a great job with this team, and they have confidence. And as you was able to see Saturday night, they're going to be a very, very good basketball team, and they are right now. And for the last half of this season, they're going to be a team that is going to be difficult for people to beat at home. And you know, so it was a tough ball game, but it was one that we expected it would be that way. But again, you know, we just anytime you go on the road right now, you expect what we ran into, and but at the same time, I thought we handled it pretty good.
We talked in the other segment about the junior college guys. You've got some true freshmen that seem to get better and better every time out. That's of course Rob Thomas, Cortez Edwards, and of course Big Tim Rowe in the middle. How have you seen them improve the most?
Well, I think again, all three of them have added so much to our basketball team in that, you know, in different ways. Rob is, if not our best, one of our best shooters. Cortez has a basketball IQ that's off the chart, as good as any freshman I've ever been around. And then Tim, in the last couple of weeks, is a player that, you know, the aggressiveness that we've tried to get out of him is beginning to come. And so the confidence level of all those guys have picked up, and to their credit, they've worked extremely hard, and they are a big, big part of the success that we've enjoyed lately.
Another guy, not to just pick out another guy, but a guy that stood out to me too recently has been Keljin Blevins, who had been playing out on the perimeter because of some injuries and things. You had to move him inside, and he's done a pretty nice job in there of getting to the foul line, getting some rebounds, and scoring around the basket.
Well, the one thing that Keljin does is, and I think that probably more than anything, you've seen the pace of our offense maybe get better. And he's a guy that doesn't sit on the basketball and doesn't overhandle the basketball. He gets it in motion and gets it reversed. And then what a lot of people don't realize is how hard he runs each and every possession to the offensive end to make the other team defend the lane. And that's a big part of the success that we've enjoyed. So Keljin is going to compete each and every night, and defensively he's going to give you everything he's got. So very, very pleased with the way he's played.
Teams have tried to full court pressure this year, sometimes three-quarter court, but to try to put some pressure on you the length of the court, and you saw that during this road trip to North Texas and Rice. How do you feel like your team has handled that this year?
Well, again, you know, there was two different types of deal. You had Thursday night where they were more aggressive, and then Friday night it was more of a tempo type deal that they were just going to sit in kind of a three-quarter deal just to try to buy some time, and they did a nice job with it. But at the same time, I thought our guys handled the pressure real well.
Well, it was the Golden Eagles and the Rice Owls on Saturday night at the Tudor Fieldhouse in Houston, Texas. Let's go back and take a look at the action. Down inside to Watts. He fakes, spins inside, turns, short jumper, good again. Raheem Watts has got 6. 12 on the shot clock. Left corner to Blevins. Back to Ramey. Ramey to Jackson out front. Jackson, 7 on the shot clock. Back out to Ramey. Ramey wants to drive. Gives it into the corner. Blevins, a long 3. Got it. Bingo. Thomas gives it to Price. 15 on the shot clock. Eagles to Rowe. Rowe squares up. Back to Price. Back to left side. Eagles got to get it up quickly now. 7 on the shot clock. Price going to drive to the bucket. Got a layup. Went up and under. Kari Price the bucket. Bounce pass to Blevins. They'll double him. Back out to Price. A 3 on the way. Good. Bingo. Kari Price with a big 3. Jackson out front. Over to Thomas right wing. Thomas back out to Jackson. Jackson left wing Price, who's guarded by Evans. Price trying to get him set. Back to Jackson, 10 on the shot clock. Jackson driving to the bucket, banks it up and in with a right hand. That one rattled, wouldn't go. Rebound, Blevins back up. Nice soft touch, laid it in. Kelvin Blevins has got a dozen. They bounce it down along the baseline to Campbell, back to Jackson, up to Price, down into Rowe. Rowe working his way to the bucket, goes up, puts it in, got fouled. That's for that young guy. He's going to get better. Price hustles and knocks it away from behind. Ahead to Blevins. Blevins hands it off to Campbell, back to Blevins. Blevins to Price, left corner Jackson, driving down inside, puts it up and in with the right hand. Thought he got fouled, but no call.
People ship all kinds of things
But what if that thing is a few 100,000 doses of flu vaccine
that need to be kept at 41 degrees.
while being shipped to a country where it's 90 degrees? In the shade.
Sound hard? Yeah.
Does that mean people in Laos shouldn't get their vaccine?
We didn't think so.
From figuring it out to getting it done.
We're here to help.
Thank you so much for this prestigious award. I would like to thank my friends and family.
It's time for your homework.
Coming, Mama. As I was saying, I would also like to thank my educators for all they've done with me. Without them, I couldn't do anything.
And the winner of the first place award for small cities is Hattiesburg, Mississippi for the Education Initiative.
What are you doing back there, Haley?
Feeling like a winner.
And we're back once again, Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bank Corp South. Well, each week, we do a feature, and from time to time, we're going to go back and visit with, some of the Golden Eagles of the past. And today, we've got with us Larry Boyd. Larry played for the Golden Eagles and Coach M.K. Turk from 1979 to 1983. And Larry, great to have you with us on the show. When you think about your time at Southern Miss, what sort of stands out?
John, it's just the memories that you have on the basketball court, the wins, the losses, the hard work, the practices, just the relationships and friendships that you make back then. Just putting that uniform on, those are all memories that you have. But what you take with you here is just an experience. And becoming a Golden Eagle and part of the Southern Miss family is really not a memory; it's an experience of a lifetime. And even today, there are relationships and friendships that I made back then or even make today with the connection of Southern Miss.
And you were a guy, and haven't been many of these in Southern Miss history. You played 4 years of basketball, played some baseball, even played on the football team. So I would think Southern Miss it's a big part of you and your family's life.
It is. All the sports are. And like I said about basketball, I have some special friendships that I made in the football arena or the football field, and those memories too. Meeting Mississippi State in Jackson, beating Ole Miss in Oxford, those are memories that you'll cherish a lifetime. But the relationships and the friendships that I made back then and even make today, I just still cherish.
Basketball for the Golden Eagles when you were here, what stands out? What games? Are there games that stand out in your mind that you were involved in?
Well, John, when Coach Turk recruited me way back when, the goal was to get into a conference. And I remember being an independent team and whatnot, and then finally getting into a conference and having that first conference win. And then we were able to have our first postseason tournament, the NIT, the very first game that we played here. I'll never forget that experience. And just as we were taking this program and Coach Turk was building this program and to where it is today, and I know we've had some good times and some bad times, and the thing about the sports at Southern Miss and our athletics here, we never stay down. And though it's a tough time now, I know that Doc's going to get everything turned around and get things back to where we all want it to be.
This is a Golden Eagle program, as you said, that has won championships and gone to the postseason, done a lot of great things. I would think you and some of the guys you played with back there in the late 70s, early 80s have to take a lot of pride in the fact that maybe you had a part of sort of laying that foundation that's led to that success.
It has, and Coach Turk used to say, hey, come help me build something. And you know, I feel like at Southern Miss we're always building. We're never happy with our success. We're never happy with our wins, our conference championships or whatever. We want more. And we take that. They taught us back then that you'll learn things when you're playing sports that you'll take in life with you. And you really don't understand what they're talking about back then as much as you do once you get out. But the never say die attitude, the don't ever give up, no challenge is ever too big for us. You take that out into the world, into the working world, and you realize, hey, they were right, and it helps you be successful.
Remind people some of the guys you played with, because that's kind of a Southern Miss Hall of Fame and a cast of characters, but some outstanding players you were a part of a team with.
Well, Joe Dawson in basketball, Curtis Green, those guys were fellow teammates of mine, and then I was able to be an assistant coach for a while and was able to coach with the NIT teams, Casey Fisher and John White, and then Randolph Keys and those guys, and of course Clarence Weatherspoon, just being around when he was here. And then in football, the team that I was fortunate enough to play on, we had 11 or 12 guys that year, senior guys that either were drafted or signed free agent contracts. Lewis Lips, Richard Bird, Gerald Bayless, and the name can go on. And I have to mention Steve Carmody, my center. Just go on and on and on about the talent that was there. Reggie Collier was here when I was here, and I still see Reggie today, and those friendships, like I said, that we made, and the bonds that we made still last today.
All right, last question. I always ask the players this, but since it's been a while since you've been, I want to ask you that question. What did it mean to you to wear the black and gold?
Well, John, it's like I said earlier, it's not a memory, it's an experience. I remember the last time I took off the uniform just like it was yesterday. That was the hardest thing I did, to know that this time when I take this jersey off, I'm not putting that jersey back on again. And I can't go back now and put on the jersey again and play. But the memories and the experience that I had being a part of the Southern Miss family, that's not a memory, that's a lifetime experience.
Well, Larry, we appreciate all you've done for Southern Miss, all you continue to do for Southern Miss, so thanks for taking some time out to visit with us today. We love watching you play back in the day. Wish we could see you out there again, but thanks again for being here, and thanks for all you do for Southern Miss.
Thank you, John.
Hi, that's Larry Boyd. Larry played basketball for the Golden Eagles 1979 to 1983. He's a Hall of Famer and a guy that had made great contributions then and now to Southern Miss. That's it on our special segment today as we kind of go behind the scenes with an Eagle of the past. We'll be back with more right after this on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler.
Southern Miss fans, show your pride with real Golden Eagles gear from the official online store, shop.southernmiss.com. You'll find everything a Golden Eagles fan needs, from jerseys to sideline gear, polos, t-shirts, hats, and more. With an awesome selection of Golden Eagles products, including official team merchandise from Russell, when it comes to Golden Eagles pride, there's only one place real Southern Miss fans go, shop.southernmiss.com.
And welcome back once again, everybody. Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bank Corp South. Eagles back home this week. On Thursday night, the Blazers of UAB will roll into Reed Green Coliseum. Then on Saturday, it's the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee. And Doc, as you said earlier in the show, these are the two teams, along with the Marshall Thundering Herd, that are really kind of battling for first place in Conference USA.
Well, both teams are going to be very, very difficult. They got a lot of experience coming back, and you know, they do what they do very, very well. Defensively, they're a good basketball team. UAB is very, very athletic, and you know, probably a little bit different in that that Middle Tennessee has got inside guys that can score the basketball, whereas UAB have got inside guys that just go gets the offensive rebounds and scores. So both of them are very, very good basketball teams, and obviously going to be, you know, going to be a challenge for us.
The Blazers earlier this year had a 14-game winning streak. They a team that wins a lot at home. They're on the road here at Reed Green Coliseum, but Gerald Haas has done a nice job of really kind of building that program up over there.
Well, he really has, and they've, you know, got a good basketball team. They can score baskets, and they're just tough. You know, very, very good basketball team that doesn't turn the ball over very much. They make the tough plays when they need to make them. So it's going to be a challenge for us. But again, we're at home, and hope that people come out and support us, and we play well.
Kermit Davis and Middle Tennessee on Saturday. Kermit's been around a long time, won a lot of ball games, and he has quietly put together really a good program up there at Middle Tennessee.
Well, the one thing you know about Kermit's team is they're going to defend, and they're going to be well prepared. So, you know, we just got to continue to get better is what we got to continue to do, and I think we'll do that.
Just a handful of games left for the Golden Eagles. The season goes by quick, doesn't it?
Wow, it's down to 8 games, and you know, that's 4 weeks of basketball. Got 2 each week, and you know, we're down to 4 home games. So hope the people get a chance to come out and really show these guys how much they appreciate what they've been through, and support them these last 4 games.
And speaking of the crowd has really, now that the students are back, the crowds have picked up, and it's been a pretty good atmosphere in Reed Green Coliseum.
Well, it has, and again, that's a credit to the students supporting each other, and hopefully, you know, when we have a good crowd, it's because they come out and watch.
All right, Doc, we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks, John.
All right, Golden Eagles again home on Thursday night against the Blazers of UAB, and Saturday against the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee. Don't forget, Monday nights we're at Mugshots Grill and Bar in Hattiesburg for the Golden Eagle Hotline. Come on by, visit with us, and we'll talk a little Golden Eagle basketball. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time. Another inside look into Southern Miss basketball.
Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler has been brought to you by Bank Corp South, right where you are. And brought to you in part by the City of Hattiesburg, a proud sponsor of Southern Miss Athletics. UPS, from figuring it out to getting it done, UPS is here to help. Hattiesburg Coca-Cola. Want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. This has been a presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports.